like to drink a little whiskey. Somewhere down the Ybor streets are calling. Between 15 and 20 Friday night. Should've learned by now that one drink always means we ain't going home till the rooster calls.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Rooster Call. Thank you so much everyone for coming tonight. We are so excited for our guests tonight. We have Andrea and Mark from Tampa Bay Icebox.
It's Andrea.
What's up?
I'm sorry, Andrea, yes. We are so excited to have you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Our pleasure. Thank you for having us.
So, this was a product of our JM. He kind of approached you guys and kind of knew about this, and we wanted to have you come on and kind of tell about Tampa Bay Icebox and kind of what it is and kind of what you do with it all. Now, it is a kind of like a shuttle service, right, to and from games?
Yeah. What we do is we took a Zamboni, and I wanted to drive it just a Zamboni up and down the road and carry people. We modified it to carry people. And DMV said no go with that, so we got creative and we took the van, a Ford van, and sliced the back off and dropped the Zamboni on the back of it. So now we can drive anywhere we want to go. Okay, it's licensed, it's insured, it's ready to go. So the premise is that we go out every home game, and we go to certain spots around Channel Side and around the downtown area. And we pick up people at different bars, different locations, Ybor City, things like that, and we transport them to the game. And the Zamboni has, huge 1,000-watt speakers on it. We play all kinds of rock music, lights flashing all over the place, and it's a good time. And people really enjoy going to the game that way.
So I know that we have, we all got the Roosters in the house too. Sorry guys. We got Andrew, Swipe Right, Maddie, Ice, and don't forget about Dez and the JM back in the studio back there. So you guys went on the ride the other night, right?
We did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. You went. So I believe you and Baker went to the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and Baker went to the game, and we got picked up over by Centro Ybor. And
Right.
So that's one of your spots?
That's one of our spots.
Okay.
Yeah.
And fun time. Yeah.
How long does it take to get to there from Centro?
Not too long. We made one stop at
Fort Greenfield.
Now, is that a normal stop as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they're one of our sponsors, and we pick them up. In fact, we just started coming to Ybor. We've been doing this since January.
Nice. Okay.
But we needed somebody a little bit earlier to fill up the van, and so we said, let's go to Ybor. So about 2 weeks ago, was our first time in Ybor.
Okay.
And we're getting a lot of people here, so
Welcome
this
to
is going
town.
to be a regular. Yeah.
Okay. And now, so let's go. How many spots are there total, or pickup spots?
Pickup spots. It varies. There's officially there is the Ybor at the Central Ybor stop, Fort Greenfields, Grand Central, and then Yeoman's Bar and Patrick's Bar. Those are the official.
So you got a
ones.
pretty good amount of spots.
Yeah,
The
but
sidewalk.
but as we're going, I'm up there on my megaphone, okay, my speakerphone, talking to everybody. If I see hockey fans going, I talk them to
So you
come
just
out.
stop and pick them up?
You will stop and
Oh,
pick them
cool.
up.
Okay,
So
right
I'll
on.
be going to the parking areas, and I'll say, "What are you walking for? Come on, let's get on," and coerce them to come on with us. So we pick
Right.
up sometimes probably another 8-10 people that way.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right on.
Hold on, is there a charge?
We don't charge for the ride itself, but what we do is when we get them on, we give them our pitch and we encourage them to donate to the 3 charities that we support.
You support which 3 charities?
Andrea?
Our first charity is Redefining Refuge. It's a local charity here in Tampa, and they support women and children who are coming out of human trafficking in various levels.
Gotcha.
Big organization, growing very rapidly, up and coming. So that one we're super excited about, and we've raised a lot of money to help them over the past
That's fantastic.
11 months. It goes straight to them, not administration and not to us. And our next one is On Bikes, which is a national organization, but there's a Tampa chapter. That organization has volunteers that come in and helps build bikes for kids that are in the foster system. And next Saturday, the 10th, is their big annual bike ride. So what they do is you buy tickets, you can ride in a bike parade, everybody dresses up in funky Christmas attire, and the kids that are getting their new bikes get to ride along as well.
Oh, cool.
So it's an all-day family-friendly event, and it ends at Curtis Hickson Park, and there's activities and music and stuff there that goes into the evening. So that's on their website. It's also on our Instagram. And then the third charity is Lighthouse Ministries, which helps shelter and provide services for homeless people, and that's in both Lakeland and in Tampa. So we ask people, when we have riders come on, everybody's having a great time, but we mention our charities because that's the reason that we're doing this,
Absolutely.
besides just to have fun. Also, we ask, of course, that they take a look at our sponsors because we have some really, really cool sponsors.
Your Instagram is what?
At Tampa Bay Icebox.
At Tampa Bay Icebox.
So you got, and then you also have a website as well,
We do,
TampaBayIcebox.com.
TampaBayIcebox.com.
That's awesome.
That's right. And
Spelled as it sounds.
yeah. Tampa Bay Icebox. And so we do really have a good time. We sometimes have the flags up and pom-poms, people singing and dancing. And
And about how many
safe.
people can you hold on it?
Well, that's a good question.
Depends on their size.
That really varies.
Authorities are not
I think
listening.
the other night when we picked you guys up, we had a really full. I think we probably had close to 20.
Oh, wow.
Our average, our regular load is probably 12 to 14.
It's a
But
nice
that
load.
night we had, it was pretty interesting because we had, you guys all came in. We had to go to 4 green fields for 4 people. I think, oh my God, we only got 3 spots left. We'll get them. First gentleman walks up, God bless him, huge. I mean, the guy was huge, okay? And I'm going, oh my God, how are we gonna get him in? So I moved to the back of the thing and I was just kind of giving him the old foot. The
wedge
and
in
I
him
was
in.
hanging off the very last step on the way there. So, yeah, we typically put about 14 in, but I think we put as many as 20 in, type of thing.
That's awesome. Well, those are definitely some charities we can get behind. Those are fantastic, doing that kind of stuff. And,
So
oh, go ahead,
This
my
is,
bad.
so this is philanthropy for
Yes,
y'all?
yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I built I retired about 2 years ago from my engineering firm.
Okay.
And I wanted something to do. I've always had a fascination with Zambonis. And
I would love to whip a Zamboni.
yeah, I've always had a fascination with
Speaking
them.
of young gravy.
And I went to the game and saw them, dragging people around the game during the between periods. And then I went to Nashville for something. And if you've ever been to Nashville, dragging people on trailers and parties and stuff like that is a big deal. And a light went off in my head, and I said I could combine the two. So I went out and literally bought a Zamboni, a used Zamboni, and got with some guys here in Tampa who actually work on Zambonis for a national company, amazing as it is. And I went down to them and said, "Can we build this?" And they said, "Yeah, we'll do it." And
You
we
beat
put
the
together-
system, Mark.
Yeah,
That's
Beat the
awesome.
system.
yeah.
Where does one buy a used Zamboni?
That's a great question because I've been thinking
Amazon?
about it for a couple of years, and they were always
Pepsi?
up in Alberta, Canada, or Croatia. All these places. What good's that going to do me? So I finally decided I was going to do this. I said, I'm going to do this. And I looked up, and where do I find a Zamboni for sale? Right in Tampa Bay.
No way.
Right.
It was fate.
I couldn't believe it. And so I went to the guy, and he's right down in Riverview, and I looked at him, and I told him what I wanted to do, and he kind of like, really? And I said, yeah, I'm going to the streets. And he said, okay, well, I've got this Zamboni, but that's not the right one for you. I'll get another one for you. Blah, 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 blah. And ultimately, it cost me $500.
Because,
Whoa.
because it didn't work properly. I
Because it
assume?
didn't work.
You
Didn't
didn't need
run
it to
anymore.
work. You just needed to put it on the
It
truck.
didn't run anymore, so I said, okay, it doesn't run. Perfect, because
Fantastic.
we don't want it to run. We took all the engine out, took all that stuff out of there. So, yeah, $500, and we bought a used van that had been, interesting, had been wrecked on the side where the back frame was. We didn't care about the back frame, so we ripped that off, okay? So I took basically 2 disabled vehicles, if you will, put them together, okay, and off we go, type of thing.
That's wild.
Give
That's
them new
awesome.
life.
Yeah.
I think I bet you're a firm believer in the law of attraction. All right.
I mean, it's
And
definitely,
resourceful.
this is pretty your like brainchild on this. I mean, it's one of a kind, really, if you
It
think
is
about
one of a kind.
Yeah.
There's, I was looking for some model to mimic across the United States. So I'm on the internet and I'm going crazy. It's got to be one of these. I can't be thinking this by myself. And I went everywhere and there was nothing. Okay, and some places say, well, the city or county won't let you license it, and blah blah blah. So there was no model out there for me, and I went to license it just as a Zamboni, and DMV said, no, you're not going to do that for a variety of reasons. And so I was kind of defeated, and then I sat down with a buddy of mine, not here tonight, unfortunately, had a couple of beers, and we're just thinking about it, and all of a sudden a light went off and said, let's just drop it on the back of a van, because that's what the problem was with DMV. It didn't have a VIN number. So now we got a VIN number, okay? And we
Who
dropped
wants to
it
be
in-
going behind a Zamboni?
Well,
On the street?
and the beauty of it is, sometimes, when obstacles come up, it comes better, because
Vans
if
are
I,
good.
if I did it on the Zamboni, I could only have gone on certain streets
Right.
under 15 miles
Certain
an hour.
speeds, yeah.
Those type of things. I'd be very, very limited.
Now you can be like, everybody, hold on, here we
I mean,
go.
if I get a deal in Anchorage, Alaska, it's a good deal, I'm going, okay? So I really have a lot of versatility
Franchise
in
it.
it
Yeah,
before.
franchise it.
It's
Yeah.
really great when you think about it, because in my opinion, the Lightning have one of the best fan experiences
Yes.
in hockey.
Right.
When you're
I
at that
agree.
stadium, it is fantastic. It's electric, really.
Boogie, woogie,
Literally,
woogie.
Literally,
with the
it's
Lightning, and I really hope the Lightning appreciate kind of what you guys are doing, because you're adding to that experience. You really are. These
Thank
people that are going to that game, that they're
Right.
leaving that game, just that whole experience you're adding to, and it's really great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we went to them early to see if they wanted to do something together, and we had a good reception at the very beginning, and then, as normal, they passed it up through all the corporate, and they came back and said, no, because people pay for partnerships, and we can't give you a partnership. But I understand that. I get all that. They have a brand, and they don't want to mess. But
Right.
they came back and said, but we love what you're doing. And
Oh,
so
that's great. Okay.
we'll let you come in and drop people off. You could
Get
use
their
our
blessing.
you could use our lightning bolt. You could use our color.
Oh,
If they're not
nice.
copyrighted. Have at it,
Cool.
and that sort of stuff.
That's
And now when we take pictures, and Andrea's handling our social media for us now, they take our pictures on certain runs at night, and she posts them, and they put them up in the Jumbotron.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so
super cool.
nearly
Yeah.
every game, we have some of our riders that get up there. I try to get them posted before
Okay.
before the puck drops. And I have had a couple of people, because we ask people to follow us on Instagram, we follow them back to, build this thing. And we've had some very, very interesting writers and contributors. And of course, one girl said, we thought the game was going to be the fun part of the night, but getting there was just as fun. So
That's
that made us
great.
feel really
Oh,
good.
that's fantastic.
We've had some little undercover celebrities on there, so
Cool.
yeah.
Did you sign a non-disclosure?
Yeah, you had swipe right on the other day.
I'll just say, well, here you go. Yes, early in their celebrityhood, obviously. But yeah, we've met some really amazing people. And why don't you tell them about the somebody you can even call and say, okay, can you pick us up so and so? We had a young man go into the playoffs last year with a broken leg. Why don't you tell him?
Yeah,
The
we've had
dad.
some people call us ahead of time. His father called and said, my son wants to really go to this thing, but he broke his leg doing something. Can you handle him? And we said, sure,
That's
absolutely. Come up to this thing. So we got the young man, he's about 15, and we took him, and we don't have a lift, but two of us took him, lifted him up, put him right in the Zamboni seat and back, the driver's seat. And he had a ball of a time. And another time we had a young lady whose father came up and said, is there any way, she was in a wheelchair? Absolutely. Took her out, lifted her up, put her in, took the wheelchair, put it with us, took it down. The father was thrilled, the young person was thrilled, and we were thrilled. We love
Oh, that's
bringing
good,
that
yeah.
experience to somebody who normally couldn't do that sort of thing. So
Are you living your vision now, or what's to come that you want to see?
I'm living it. I'll tell you, I'm having a ball. It's a fair amount of work actually, because we
Heavy lifting, it sounds like.
yeah. Fortunately, I
Washing it
wasn't a
every
lifter.
day.
I've got some young guys who are stronger than me. But, it's a lot of fun. Quite honestly, we get out there, it gives us something to do. We run the game, we meet all kinds of great people, really do. From Canada, all across the United States. When this first came out, the news stations picked it up. And all the stations here picked it up and did a thing on it, and then they spread it out. I've got people coming from Canada, from California, who said, I saw it on TV,
Oh, that's
and
so
I knew
cool.
when I came
Oh,
here I
cool.
wanted
That's
to ride this thing. So, because they don't see it anywhere else in the country. So, yeah, we've had the national exposure on this thing. It's been really, you know, if you're going to retire, guys, and I know you're too young right now, but someday you're going to retire.
We're hoping.
The ideal is to be able to do something then that's productive and fun. And that's what this is.
Well, you're not really retired. You don't
No,
really retire.
not even close.
Yeah, well, that's what she keeps telling me.
And you got some great charities that you're giving back to. You know,
Yeah.
it really is all great. I mean, everything
Yeah,
about it.
it makes you feel good for what we're doing with these things. There are 3 great charities, and
It sounds like it.
and it's you know, they're very receptive to what we're doing, so it's good.
And you mentioned some sponsors. What are some of the sponsors that you guys do have?
Oh God, we've got Orange Theory is a sponsor.
Okay.
We've got Hat Tricks Bar is a sponsor. The people who own Grand Central and all their parking down there, Ford Green Fields is a sponsor.
Awesome.
A place called Restore, which is a place that does
Wellness.
Do
wellness
they get
training.
signage on the Zamboni?
They get signage on the Zamboni. You know what? It was really interesting.
We need to talk about
Smart
little
one.
Ebor Live on the Zamboni.
Yes, we've got a spot
And I
for
love
you.
to put
You
you
do?
We
guys-
have
Oh.
the spot for you, and I want that chicken logo. Yes.
Rooster's coming to
Rooster.
Zamboni.
Yes.
It's our logo.
All right, we'll make a deal
This is-
here, guys.
this is
We'll put you
Travis
on
right
there. How's that sound?
Hey!
We'll put you on there because you've been so kind to us. But we've got people on there, and the first time I sold this thing, I started in January. I came to them with pictures of what we were going to do because the machine
Okay.
hadn't been finished. So I was kind of reaching a little bit, and I got a few sponsors. You know, some people kind of reached out with us. Well, after the season, everybody heard. I
After
went
the
out to sold, and
testimonials.
I sold everything I had. Okay,
Nice.
sold the truck out. I've got a few spots left for cool people like you. Okay, but I sold the thing out pretty much. Okay, and so now all that sponsor money goes towards again contributions and things like
That's
that.
great.
And
All
so
I want to
it's
do is,
really
is
doing
donate
good.
now. I gotta tell you. All I
Yeah,
wanna do
right.
is
You got to
donate.
do it. You got to do it. You'll hear us come in and see the lights. Then you'll
Yeah.
see us.
Yeah, we'll definitely be at any game now going for that pickup spot. I mean,
And
right
this-
here in
Well,
Ybor, too, it's
Ybor-
fantastic.
Guys,
Totally,
Ybor is important to
Ybor.
us.
Oh my
You
goodness.
guys, you know, if we could pick up a lot of people at Ybor, that was really great for us.
That's
Is that your first spot over in Grand
It's our
Central?
first spot. It's
Okay.
our first spot. We come here, we get here about 6:05.
Okay.
Game starts at 7. So about an hour before the game, we pick up right here.
You picked up a ton of people over here the other night.
We picked up a ton. I
I think I was the last person on. I was like, ooh, I don't know if are you sure I'm cool to get on here?
Good thing I skipped dinner.
Yeah, but we even put more on after you, didn't
I know.
we?
Yeah, we picked
went
up
to
another.
Fort Greene Field.
Yeah, and like one more spot after
Yeah,
that.
we were loaded up that night, and everybody. By the way, everybody was very generous in that thing. We only had 2 runs because the traffic that night was horrendous because of all the stuff going on downtown. So the traffic was horrendous. So we only got 2 runs in, but it was 2 of our most productive runs we've ever had.
Awesome.
So it worked out good.
Right on.
That's
That's great.
So you just make the loop as many times as you feel necessary?
We make the loop as many times as we can up until they drop the puck.
Okay.
And we just
Gotcha.
keep running and running and running, and if the traffic lets us, and the cops are really good, I shouldn't say cops, they're police officers, but the police, because they see us coming, and if it's tight, they'll turn around and they'll wave us through.
Oh, great.
And stuff like that. One of the reasons we do Lighthouse Ministries is I went to a meeting of the board of Channel District, and the Captain Owen was there, and he was talking about the homeless situation in the Channel District. And it's really not bad at all, but he said, people were saying, what are we doing about it? And he said, well, we're doing the best we can, but very difficult because we don't have places in Tampa to put these people. We actually have to take them to Lakeland, to Lighthouse Ministries, you know, to give them a place to stay. And he says, but they're trying to raise money to come to Tampa and do more stuff. So I went up to him afterwards and I said, I've got this vehicle and I'm looking for a third charity. And he goes, oh, this would be great because we're stuck. We're trying to help these people, but there's nowhere to go. So I did that and I got back to him and said, we're gonna do it. And he put the word out. And so the police have been very generous with us in terms of moving us through the system out there because they know we're helping them out.
It's been how long now? A year?
We started in January.
Anyway, congratulations.
And
Yeah,
this
we're
is
coming up on a
run
year.
Yeah.
With 11,
What's that?
a team of 11.
It's not just you two?
And
She's a newcomer. She's a rookie.
I'm
She's a
late
rookie.
to the party. I didn't come until
She's
May.
a rookie.
June,
But,
June.
Yeah, we started out with 3 of us, okay, and that's about the minimum we can run it with. And we were running lean, but after the first season, we had a lot of people come up and say, what can we do? What can we do? So I've got a team now of about 11 who help us out.
That's
And
so fantastic.
You know, some people commit. Everybody's got a different job. I got drivers,
Volunteer?
all volunteer. Everybody volunteer. Nobody gets paid here. Nobody gets
excellent.
paid for anything. We didn't pay. I paid for the Zamboni, so 100% above overhead, gasoline, and
gas,
things like
yeah.
that,
Right.
insurance. That's our big deal. And once that comes out, we take it out. And we're going to probably yield this year with the new sponsors, probably kick off to the charities about $20,000 to $25,000.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's
Great
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Great stuff, guys.
I mean, you know, it's so, you know, like most people work on their golf game in their retirement, you know, and you're like, I mean, this is like,
My golf game stinks. Okay? So there was no point. I'm better at this than I am at golf. That's what I
A
do.
realist for you right there, folks.
It's really cool too, like you were saying, as people come on board and volunteer their time and their effort to help you do what you're doing. And it's similar with what we've done here. You just start seeing like, hey, the community is supporting us and accepting us and appreciating what you're doing. And you see that by the people jumping on board and being like, hey, I want to donate my time to make this.
Yeah, we have team
a
members
bigger,
who are
better
really
experience.
good with their time, and Andre can tell you, but we have people come back multiple times, right?
Oh, yeah. People ride multiple times. They'll DM me, say about what time are you going to be in our area. And they've gotten really excited about our charities. As a matter of fact, they're going to be volunteering with us to do some hands-on work with some of our charities, which is really
That's so great.
exciting.
Yeah.
Because it's building that team as well. So
Yeah.
Redefining Refuge, we've done some work with them, with their gala. We're going to be doing some work with them. Hands on the ground, Metropolitan Ministries we're doing an effort with this weekend.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to talk about if we could.
yeah, absolutely.
And this came from one of my team members, so I'll give them credit for it. We're going to do a food and toy drive for Metropolitan Ministries. And so in Channelside, there is going to be their annual holiday event, which is going to be December 9th. It's
Saturday.
Friday.
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 Yeah.
I
Friday.
meant Friday. Friday.
She said Friday.
It's
said
Friday.
Friday.
I heard
at
Friday.
6.
Edit that out so she looks good.
Friday at 6.
It's not live.
What's editing?
No editing here, unfortunately.
So it's at Friday at 6 p.m. On 11th Street, a place called Maven. They have it every year, and it's we have restaurants all sponsor some stuff down there. I bring the Zamboni down. We have a Santa Claus there. I dress up the Zamboni in holiday stuff. If kids or people want to take a ride, I take the kids around the neighborhood and
Oh,
drive
fun.
everything. And it's really good. But we're going to have this year. We're going to have a food and toy drive set up there, and we're going to collect what we collect, and then we're going to
Canned
augment
goods,
it.
non-perishables.
Yep.
Yeah, that type of stuff, and then we're going to augment that with the dollars that we've gotten from people for the other charities, and then we're going to get down and load it up, load the back of the truck up, and take it down to Metropolitan Ministries over the next week or so.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all knew, but they've had a tough year down there with their food
The food bank.
supply at the food bank. So that's kind of why we focused on that. Somebody made us aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah, but several of our riders are going to help with that event, and so we're just getting to know the neighbors, the neighborhood. Did you tell them about the free parking?
Free parking.
I-
Associated with, one of our sponsors would love us to tell you that if you go to Fort Green Fields,
Fort Green Fields.
their new location, okay, I think it's on North 12th Street, okay, that they have free parking there. You can come, have a meal, and then we pick you up.
Oh, cool.
Take you all the way to the game. Grand Central has the same thing. They don't have free parking, but they have like $8 parking as opposed to $20 next to the place. So some of our sponsors are actually coming up and
It's a
saying,
fantastic idea.
Yeah, that
they're
really
saying,
is.
come here, have a meal, and jump on the Zamboni and go down and get a free lift all the way to the game, type of thing. And they save $20.
Yeah.
And so that works out.
And
So
have
we're
a
doing-
better time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
have an
I think that
experience.
the new location of Fort Green Fields, it's like right under the expressway.
Yeah,
kinda
that's
like,
the one we're
yeah.
talking about.
Okay, in
That's
Channel
where it's
Side.
at.
It's
Yeah.
a little more remote, and so they were looking to get more customers there, but they got a huge parking area.
Okay.
Okay, and they want people to come and enjoy the game there and do those sorts of things.
That's
So-
it. I mean, I haven't been to the new one yet, but that'll definitely drive me to it. I'll
Yeah.
definitely do that and then
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they've
have
got
a
a
meal.
huge
And,
parking area.
Right?
yeah,
Then you can
absolutely.
take, and
Drive
then
a
on the way,
lot.
we don't come after the game, unfortunately, because we tried it a couple of times, but the police want everybody out of that area, so they're not bringing anybody in that area. It's very difficult to get there after the
Yeah.
game, so we can't do it. But what you can do in Fort Green Fields, what they do is they jump the trolley at that point. It takes them all the way back to Fort Green Fields almost, and then, so they get a $20
That's an experience.
buy a couple of beers
Yeah.
as opposed to doing that. Something else that we do too is we do private events. So we're
Awesome.
open to private events. We've done birthday parties. We've done with some bars, away games. They sponsored an away game, and they brought people in for the away game, and then we drove people around during intermission and stuff like that, and do that sort of thing. And we've done some corporate events. We've done a couple of corporate events where we exclusively that night dedicate the whole Zamboni to them, take their people
Right.
all over the place. We've worked with some hotels, going around taking people from their hotels,
Awesome.
you know, salespeople to show them the town and market. So we go around, do that sort of thing. So we're open to those things too. And we got a pub crawl.
Brides.
We got a pub crawl coming up in a couple of weeks.
Bachelors.
Right on.
Cheers.
It's up in actually it's up in San Antonio, if you can believe that.
These guys have
We got
been
a
known to
pub crawl.
crawl.
Yeah.
Pub crawl in San Antonio.
So we'd love to do
Let
some more
us help
pub
you.
crawls.
Let's
I mean,
go.
Those are a lot of fun.
Where we going?
You know, we stay sober and.
That's good to know.
We stay sober.
Oh, and then you'll kind of drive everyone from bar to bar.
I drive from bar to bar.
Zamboni. Oh, yeah. That'd be
it's a lot
fun.
of
We'll
fun.
probably
You
get you to
drive
try to have just one with
Yeah.
us. But let's have one.
So that's something for. I think that would be a great thing for
Yeah,
Ybor,
Mark, it
because
sounds
you
like
could
you're
go
really
here,
retired.
Channel side, you're on Tampa, and spend 4 or 5 hours having a couple of beers here or there. I think it's a good
Fantastic.
Oh,
idea.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely get some people to do
It's
that.
fantastic.
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
We should like promote an event where you win that, and then we sponsor that.
I like it.
Oh, I
That's a
love
great
that idea, Andrew. Yeah. Flash Gordon coming in.
Hey now.
The event for the Metropolitan Ministry event, is that just like a street party? That's gonna
Yeah, it's a
happen?
block
It's a street
party.
party. It's an open street party. Yeah, it's an open street party. It gets pretty well attended down there. That sort of thing. Like I said, they have a Santa come down there. They have a photographer taking pictures with Santa, and people can bring their dogs. Very dog friendly. So you can have a picture with your dog and Santa, and they do all that sort of stuff. And there are a bunch of other things, all donated by local vendors in the area. And it's a pretty nice little thing to go on down there. But yeah, we came in last year, and before we'd even been on the street yet, and people looked at us like, "What in the heck is this?" But now everybody knows us. Between our horn and our music, believe me, they all know us. And so we come down there right now, and the kids love it. We drive the kids around with Santa.
That was a fun part of the experience too, though, being on the Zamboni and then all the people walking to the game, cheering and waving.
Yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
Getting
They're
pulled into
cheering
it.
us.
Video
They're
and-
taking video of us all.
Do you guys play Young Gravy? Gravy Train?
You're gonna have to check them out.
We gotta play Gravy Train. That's the lightning.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so great though. You definitely start to see doing these kind of things where the community really starts embracing it, and that's some of the best things to see.
That really is, and they
Yeah.
really come down, and I'm up there. My role basically is I'm the loudmouth. I get up there on the megaphone, and I'm going, "Let's go Bolts," and and how are you doing? And enjoy the game, and and I'm trying to recruit them like a carnival barker, trying to get on the Zamboni, go to bars and stuff like that. So I whoop it up, okay, while
Right.
the music is going on like that.
Nice.
And people really react very well. They're always doing this and taking video and stuff like that. And Andrea's job is to get them on Instagram with all their stuff. And
Yeah, get their.
she's
their
done a
info.
really good job this year. I don't know enough about that to be dangerous, but she has done a really good job.
Yeah, social media we're still trying to figure out ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck.
So if people want to know like when and where to get picked up, is the best way to like just
DM
you,
Andrea?
and you'll just be like, hey, here's the schedule. This is where we're gonna be.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
DM the
and we
Instagram.
can give you an
Okay.
approximate, because it depends on the traffic.
Yeah, of
We know
course.
where we're coming first, that's at Ybor, and then Fort Greenfields, and then we go toward the arena and then work our way back. So we'll find you.
Okay.
Yeah, we're basically between Kennedy, if you will, and the arena. Okay, we're on streets between Kennedy and Kennedy is as far north as we go, and then we go down the arena. So we're rolling around, but basically the pickup points are Grand Central, Ybor, Fort Greenfields, Yeomans, and Hattricks.
Okay.
If you're there, we're gonna get you, okay? And then if you're in between those places, if you can just visualize the streets in between, we're coming down, and you'll hear our horn, because we're always hitting the goal horn on those type of things. And if you come say us and do one of these, we swing over and pick you up type of thing, so.
Did you get to ride in the seat and blow the horn?
I didn't blow the horn at
You
all.
saw it.
I saw it, and I think the guy that you're talking about, Mark, the bigger fella,
Yeah.
I think was he the guy that sat in the seat with the driver's seat the other night?
I don't think we got him in there. I don't think we did. I think he was.
You didn't blow the bigger fellow's horn?
I tried. Somebody denied me
We
though.
had to take our we had one of my volunteers in there, and she's a slight little thing, and we had to send her to the front and sit up with the driver. Because
That's
there
right.
wasn't
Yeah.
enough room.
Okay.
And I was hanging off the back there. Yeah, we have a Zamboni seat. And a true Zamboni, this is a full-size Zamboni that's on there. As you know, the Zamboni seat driver's in the back, okay? So that's all back there, and it has the horn button where you can hit it. Sounds like a gold horn. It's very loud, and it's got the steering wheel. Looks just like it, but obviously it does nothing. And but we've had people get on that thing. We say, jump into the seat, drive, and they go, I can't drive. And we'll say it's okay. They say, no, seriously.
Hockey
I don't
fans are
want to
not
drive this
exactly.
thing.
Will I get a DUI driving?
And we have to explain to them, you're really not driving this thing. Okay?
like, how's
So
it
I like it
going?
because it's so authentic. They think it's authentic when they drive it. I love that.
It's like a parade
You guys
float,
are
it
killing
just
me.
goes.
I don't have my license.
And Andrea, you were saying that so people will like be DMing you like while you guys are driving around, like and asking when you're gonna be where and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I only check it about every 10 minutes because there's so much
That's a lot,
going
though.
on.
That's a lot.
And so we.
Right, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm
But
like, man,
we
you have a
grab
lot of
them
stuff going
across
on.
We will, yeah, if they're in those normal streets from our path, and I guess I could draw a map and post it, but we'll find you.
Yeah, if they DM us while we're out, we'll try our best to get to them if we can. People have said, will you take reservations? And I say no, because people don't show up for reservations.
Right,
Yeah.
They
right.
just don't show up, okay? So I always say, no, I won't take reservations, but I'll tell you where we're gonna be at these different times. If you're there, you got us, okay?
Gotcha.
And we do it that way, so that works a lot better.
That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, working in a restaurant, I know people don't show up for reservations.
They don't show up. Yeah.
You know how to make a reservation.
You just don't
Show
know
up
how to hold the reservation. There you go.
And that's the most important part of the reservation.
And another thing, totally off the topic of reservations, but speaking of it having some national publicity, we even let the opposing team fans ride.
Really? Oh.
And they have so much fun.
I
So they're, FaceTiming their friends all over the country.
I mean, you can
Fantastic.
guarantee when those
Yeah.
visiting fans come in and see
get a
that
little
Zamboni, they are
rivalry
like,
going.
why don't we have one of
Now,
those?
Exactly.
now, the
100%.
big question is, that you should be asking me is, who's the rowdiest fans that come in from out of town?
Oh, that's a good one. Wait,
Who do you
can we
think?
guess?
Take a
Who
guess.
do you think they are?
Fucking Philly.
I'm gonna say Philly as well.
I'm gonna guess the Bruins.
I was gonna say
I was
Boston.
gonna say Boston. Yeah.
Boston or
Rangers.
Philly?
Rangers,
Yeah.
Rangers.
Well, first of all,
I don't
the
know.
rowdiest, funnest, liveliest are the Canadians.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that.
They, by the
just
time
happy to
they
be
get in
down
that thing, they are crocked, okay? But they're the sweetest people in the world. They give generously. I was driving that night. We were in the playoffs in Toronto. That machine was going back and forth. They're pounding on the hood. They're rocking that thing back and forth. The nicest people, but boy, they love their hockey.
They thought they were
Okay,
paying in euros, but
they love their hockey. The biggest turnout is always Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is a huge turnout. Of course, the worst fans, bar none, are Philly fans.
Boo.
They're just obnoxious, okay? They're just, and Boston fans are pretty good. Boston fans are pretty, actually
Yeah, Boston,
everybody
good
else,
class, you're right.
actually everybody else is
Hip-hop.
really good, really good. Everybody's very fun.
Philly fans are just
they just
like
don't,
demons.
they don't have a good command of the English
They don't
language.
even treat their own teams good.
There's a reason they have
that and F you this and up you that.
they have a
that's all
jail
they
on the
know.
bottom of their baseball stadium
But the Canadians are a hoot. They are just,
Feather mat?
the Canadians are really fun.
or a football stadium rather. The link.
Oh, that's so great. I can definitely. I mean, I've been to a Philly Bucks game. I've never been to the Philly Lightning game, but Philly Bucks. And I was looking around at those fans like, who are these people? Like, what is going on here with these
Do you remember when the Rays were in the World Series a couple of years ago against the Phillies?
That's right. Yeah.
And a client of mine called and said, I got 2 tickets to our suite. Where you want to come up? And my partner and I decided to go. We flew up. And if you remember, the Rays used to have what they call the cowbell. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. It was when the count was 3-2 or something like that. They put the cowbell.
Yep.
So I came up into the suite and I've got to show the cowbell, and the guy says to me up there, the client says, "What do you do with that?" And I said, "Well, when we get to certain count, we don't bother because don't do that." And I said, "What do you mean don't do it?" He says, "I'm telling you, don't do that." Well, as soon as he tells me not to do it, then I got to do it. So anyways, the count goes up, and I start hitting this bell. And shocked, all of a sudden, a guy in an adjacent suite, okay, adjacent, starts trying to climb around the plexiglass to come beat my ass. He's going out like this. He's hanging out. He's trying to come out. He's trying to come at
Like
me.
no one ever wanted to try to beat me. I'm so bad.
I couldn't believe these people. And then we left the game, and they were screaming at us because we had the stuff
Because
on
of
there.
the
They're
cow,
giving
though?
us- Oh yeah. Oh, they're giving it to us. And just,
I got a fever.
I mean,
They
those
owe me.
people, those
Somebody
people
needs
are
more
nuts.
cowbell.
I mean, I love their enthusiasm, but they're nuts. I mean, they're just certified. They make New Yorkers look like, like nothing.
Like libertarians.
Well, we gotta also mention too something that we have coming up here. We have our Christmas party coming up.
Yeah.
Have we set a date yet?
No.
No.
Not yet. It will be
Okay.
December though.
December's
It'll
good
be
for the
December.
holidays.
It's the holiday time.
You can roll
It's the
into
holiday
January
time.
and still be holiday parties. You have to.
Yeah,
No, it would be
if needed.
And so we'll be excited about that. We'll let everyone know when that's going to be coming up, and we're going to be having that at Res. And we were kind of thinking some charities and things like that, to do, and we'd love to kind of help out with some of those charities that you guys are working with too.
Oh,
We could
wonderful.
do some things with
Oh, yeah.
that.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
So we were kind of racking our heads with some charities that we'd be able to give there. So we'll definitely talk more about that, and we'd love to
Great. I
help
can
out
put you in
any way we
touch with
can.
some of our people. The one charity that we really like a lot, and we like them all, but we like Restoring Refuge. The woman who runs it is named Natasha. She was supposed to be here tonight. She took ill. But she runs this organization. We went to their gala a couple weeks ago and gave them a big check. And the stories they tell about what they're doing and the tragedies that they're dealing with.
We're on a port here.
Yeah, right. People in Tampa don't really know how bad of a problem it is, even here
it's
in Tampa.
horrible.
It's happening
It's-
right in
it's
front of our
horrible. The
face.
stories that she tells.
I'm on the board of an organization called PACE, Center for
Oh, you
Wellness
are,
in-
Pace Academy?
in Hillsborough.
Yeah.
And there's a part of that that is there as well. It's unfortunate.
Oh, and they're in the process of building a new center, because they have a safe house right now that's kind of hidden, and they want to get it more in the forefront. So they'll get a big fund drive going on, type of thing. So they're become one of our favorites to
Yeah.
do this
We'll-
stuff
we'll
with, because they're
have to
doing
do it.
great work, just great work that needs to be done, and not many people know about.
Right.
So
Some of those stories that they'll tell you are pretty shocking.
Oh, they break your heart.
It's
They break
crazy
your
that
heart.
it really is happening right under your nose.
right under
You
our
really
nose,
don't know.
right
Yeah.
under our nose. Tampa's almost ground central for this stuff.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that it's just one of those needs that's really needs to be filled right now. That,
Yep.
So I'm sure we'll talk about more with the guys later on that. But yeah, any way we can kind of help out with that, we'll love to help out anyway, because it really is tragic. It is.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Wonderful.
See a long partnership there.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Um, well, I know we got
What time is it?
6:45.
Okay, we got a few minutes.
What time's the game start?
We got a
8:15,
couple of the
8:20.
Roosters are going to the Bucks game
8:15.
tonight.
Oh, y'all are
So,
going?
they're going to have football here for the
All
Bucks.
right.
So
We got
All right.
seats.
Very good.
we're gonna have. That's why we usually start a little bit later. That's we kind of started a little bit earlier
Really
tonight, so they
appreciate
kind of
you
had some
coming
time. Yeah.
early out.
Guys,
You
we
guys
really
did
appreciate
fantastic.
this. This is a win-win for us. It's good that
Absolutely.
we get this exposure. Hopefully, we'll take your stuff, put it on our truck, and tell people the
that'd be
same thing.
amazing.
And
Love what y'all are
we'll
doing.
blast this out to all
Love
kind
it.
of people. And so this is how this works. Okay,
Yeah.
we cooperate together. So we are very, very thankful.
wonderful.
of you
Oh,
guys.
we're so thankful
Thank
for
you,
you guys.
guys.
I mean, it's one of those things that it's one of a kind. And the fact that we have it in Tampa, it's just we're so lucky to have stuff like that. It's good. It's going to be one of those things.
I've heard that a lot. But remember, retired.
Tired franchise.
Because it's not a matter of if, it's just when there's
Yeah.
going to be another one that comes around. So that'll be interesting to see, whenever that does, where it
Who's
is and
green?
what kind of they do
Mark,
with it and
who's
stuff
green?
like
I
that.
just finished this book, Ikigai. In Japanese, there's no word for retired. They do not have a word for retired.
Is that right?
You do not retire. You're part of the community for life.
Well, that's the
They
way it's
live
turning
a-
out for me. That's the way it's turning out.
They live a more peaceful existence throughout life.
That's true. More of a level. More of level. That's
Sometimes,
what it is.
sometimes too, like you say, you're retired from the work, and then you start doing something that you're passionate, you care
Yeah.
about. But then those things take off as you put the time and energy into it and become something of their own.
That's exactly what it is. If you're going to retire and do something like this, you want to do something that excites you. And that's what I'm doing. And it's really good. And so, although I say I'm retired and I actually work on this and some other things too, I don't feel like I'm working.
Yeah,
I
'cause
really
something you
don't feel like
enjoy
I'm
doing.
working
That's
anymore. So,
It's such a great thing for the community. It really is. It's one of those things that, just like the Rooster Call, just trying to give back to the community any way you can.
Yep.
And it's great when you see that kind of stuff, and see other people doing it as well. It really is. It's fantastic.
Need more of that in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's a great town, good people.
Yeah.
When they know something's good going on, they'll jump in.
Absolutely.
It's a good town.
And so everybody, just got to remember, so it's Tampa Bay Icebox. You got them on social media, Instagram. You got them on their website as well.
Facebook.
Tampa Bay,
Facebook.
And Facebook. Okay,
Yep.
TampaBayIcebox.com and their Facebook. So everybody definitely hit them up. It's one of those great things about Tampa, and we love you guys having an e-board now, so that's, it's just great. Works all around. It really
Thank
works,
you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you very
So
much.
We'll cut it out now so these Roosters can head off to a football game. So let's get it out on Rooster Call. 1, 2, 3. Till next time. Deuces.
Remember the icebox from the Little Giants?
It's the best, like.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you my, Andrea will give us her.
Somewhere down the Ybor streets are calling. Between 15 and 20 Friday night. Should've learned by now that one drink always means we ain't going home till the rooster calls.